And welcome to another edition of SVU Sports. Today we have your SVU Knights facing the Methodist University Monarchs. And today's a bit of an interesting matchup because so far this season the Knights have struggled 1-3 and they're on a 3-game losing streak so far. And we have the Methodist Monarchs, which are 5-1 on the season and are currently on a 3-game win streak. So it's a very difficult matchup today for the Knights. The Methodist Monarchs have a very good team, not any big discernible weaknesses in their game. They defend very well. Their offense is very consistent in their scoring. They've only been held under 17 points once so far this season. That was in their one loss back in February. So a very difficult matchup for the Knights, and we'll see how this goes. If you're the Knights, you definitely need to have some strategies in place to take care of the Monarchs. The Monarchs themselves are very poignant on the attack, with Michaela Ramos and Peyton Jones both being very prominent in their scoring, both with 23 goals. And then you have Kayla Nee, who has 24 assists on the season. So there's definitely a strategy there of, like, we need to make sure that Kayla Nee is keeping the ball in her net and making sure that containing her, making sure that she's not getting good looks for her teammates in that respect. And then on the offensive side, if you're the Knights, you just got to make sure that you're getting someone else involved. In the Knights' one win this year, Alyssa Johnson, their star scorer, scored 5 goals, but also Brooklyn Suttlemere and Piper Searle also scored 3 goals. So that's an essential part of the Knights' game plan this day, is that they need to get someone else going on the offensive side. Because so far this season, since that one win at the beginning of the season, only Alyssa Johnson has kept up that scoring production. She has 16 goals in the 4 games that they've played, and 5 assists as well, so 21 points for her. So it's definitely essential for the Knights to get someone like Piper Searle or Brooklyn Suttlemere or Riley Webster going to keep up with the offensive production of the Monarchs. So those are the strategies if you're the Knights. If you're the Monarchs, you really just got to keep up your game plan. You know your defensive game plan. You know your offensive game plan. You execute it well. You execute it consistently. Just go out and do what you continue to do. So definitely an uphill battle for the Knights, but we'll see if they can return to their winning ways that they had at the beginning of the month with their 15-4 victory over Virginia Wesleyan University. So we'll see what happens in this game and see how the Knights game plan for the Monarchs and how the Monarchs execute their solid game plan.
number 15 from Lexington, Virginia, Tuku Taro. At defense, number 16 from Salt Lake City, Utah, Baby Boo. At defense, number 31 from Boise, Idaho, Taylor Littleton. And at goalie, number 32 from Snowville, Utah, Jessica Webb. The Knights are coached by Wayne Whitworth and assisted by Jordan Cranston. Thank you, and good luck to both teams.
All right, the game's getting set to start. We're getting the starting lineups out. An interesting tidbit for the Knights and what they need to do this game. The Methodist University Monarchs, their one loss this year came against the Barry University Vikings. And what the Vikings did in that game is that they held the Monarchs to only 19 shots per game, which is very key because as a team, the Monarchs average about 40 shots per game. So it's key on the defensive side to make sure that they're not getting shots on the goal, that they never feel comfortable enough to take those shots. And that's part of the thing about of keeping the ball out of Kayla Nee's hands, keeping it in Kayla Nee's net, is that she facilitates the offense, she gets it going, she makes sure that they get those good shots, they feel comfortable and open in taking those shots. So that's definitely the goal of the Knights, is to make sure that they are not taking the shots they want and that they are uncomfortable every time on the defensive side, because that's been the one weakness that has been shown throughout this season for the Monarchs. They've been 5-1. They performed very well on the defensive and offensive side, but this was the one time that they were beaten. So it's very essential for the Knights to make sure that they are uncomfortable on the defensive side every time down the field. Looks like we're about set to go, making sure everyone's in position, getting ready to go. Between number 4 for the Monarchs, Tia Marlinghouse, and number 9 for the Knights, Addison England. And that'll be a violation on the Knights, and it'll be Monarchs ball. Swing it around. Get it inside, shot on the goal, no good. Little to the right, picked up by the Monarchs. That'll be a shot on the goal in the net. That'll be number That'll be number 12, Kayla Nee. So that makes the score 2-0. Quick offensive start for the Monarchs. Exactly what you want to see. And it's exactly what you want to see if you're the Monarchs from both sides of the ball. They've gotten 2 goals to 0 and haven't even allowed a shot on the goal yet, as we have another face-off. And that's picked up by the Knights. They look to clear it. Ball's on the ground. Still getting bumped around as it goes out of bounds. And it'll be Monarch ball. Or Knight ball. Sorry, my apologies. As the Knights will look to get something going here. They swing it around behind the net. Look to get something going. Got a shot on the goal. That's picked up by the Monarchs. And they get it clear. The Monarchs slow it down. And that's another shot on the goal. I believe that's number 15, Michaela Ramos. And this is the exact type of start that you envisioned if you were the Monarchs. This is the exact way you wanted the game to go. 3 goals in just as many minutes, with the Knights only being able to have 1 shot on the goal so far. So far the Monarchs defense is standing strong and giving the offense all the opportunities they need to extend this lead. And if you're the Knights, at this point, you just need to make sure that you maintain the possession of the ball. That's always the greatest thing in lacrosse, is making sure that if you get the most shots on the goal, if you have the most opportunities, you will tend to win. So if you're the Knights, you need to make sure that you're keeping the ball in the net, making sure you're not turning it over that way, and making sure that when you get shots on the goal, they either go in or maintain Knights possession. Do we have another face-off? And that'll be picked up by the Knights. Great opportunity here for the Knights to establish some momentum. And that'll be a turnover. Monarchs heading the other way. And they clear it. Quick opportunity here for the Monarchs. As they swing it around behind the net. Good check, puts the ball on the ground, and it's Knights' ball. As they look to clear it. And they do. They get it across the field. So look to get some shot on the goal. No good, a little low. And it maintains Knight possession. Knights moving the ball around. Swing it behind the goal. All right, I think we have a penalty on the Monarchs. And we'll have the penalty shot. And it is blocked by the goalkeeper. And the Monarchs will look to clear. And a rough check. Keeps it Monarch possession. A quick shot on the goal will be another one for the Monarchs. I believe that is again Michaela Ramos with that shot.
Goal scored by the Monarchs, number 15, Michaela Ramos, and assisted by number 12, Kayla Nee.
And that'll be a timeout, I believe, by the Knights. It's a good timeout with the momentum very much in the Monarchs' favor. You need to get your team refocused, get them back in the flow. Because right now, nothing is quite working for the Monarchs, for the Knights at this moment. All right. We have the Knights getting back on the field. And we'll see what adjustments they made in that timeout. And after the face-off, it's in the Knights' possession. Nice, slowing it down, looking to get to work. Pass inside, shot on the goal, and there you go. Quick shot by number 10, Josie Skopik.
Goal by the 7th Virginia Knights, number 18, Tyler John.
That's my bad. That was number 18, Tyler John. And that's exactly what you wanted coming out of that timeout. Stop the bleeding, get a goal on the board. That way, you know your offense can get something going. So now your focus needs to be on the defensive end, making sure you get that stop and get your offense another opportunity to get the ball in the goal. And we'll have another face-off. And that face-off is won by the Knights. Looking to get something going. Quick shot on the goal, little to the right, and it'll stay Knights' possession. You like the aggression you're seeing here. It's a lot different than from the first 5 minutes of the game, is that there's a lot more aggression trying to get the shot quick and in as soon as possible, so that way you have as many opportunities in one possession as possible. Check puts the ball on the ground, maintained possession by the Knights. Got another shot on the goal, little high. That'll remain Knights' possession. We got another shot, and that one is in. That is number 4, Kate Richards. And just like that, the lead is cut to 2, with the score being 4 for the Monarchs and 2 for the Knights. Very quick turnaround coming out of that timeout. Clearly an effective use by Coach Whitworth for that timeout. And we'll have another face-off. What was really effective about that possession was that they scored the goal and then immediately took the possession back in the face-off. So making it and taking it is very effective in lacrosse, and that's your goal, is to hopefully just put goal after goal without ever giving the opposing team an opportunity. And that'll be Monarchs ball. A little too aggressive going after the ball there. All right. Knights being very aggressive on defense. Good check, puts the ball on the ground. Maintain possession by the Monarchs. And Monarchs will retain possession. The aggressive defense for the Knights is very good. Very what you want to see, but it also gives the Monarchs a lot of opportunities, both with penalty shots. And that is a shot on the goal right there. I believe that is number 15, Michaela Ramos. And that'll be her 3rd goal of the period. Very hot start for her in this game. All right, we'll have another face-off. And that'll be picked up by the Monarchs. Quickly running across the field, looking to get something going. Swing it behind the goal. Pass inside, and that is a shot on the goal, in. And that'll be Lila Weissenfield on the goal, number 21. And just like that, the momentum the Knights had is suddenly gone with the make it and take it opportunity that the Monarchs took advantage of. So very good recovery for the Monarchs coming out of that swift 2-point burst from the Knights. And the lead is now 6-2. All right, we'll have another face-off. And that is picked up by the Knights. They have a quick opportunity right here. And a quick penalty on the Monarchs. We'll have possession maintained with the Knights. Get a quick penalty shot. And that'll be another penalty on the Monarchs. Shot on the goal, and that is in. Number 4, Kate Richards.
Goal scored by the Southern Virginia Knights. Number 4, Kate Richards.
And that'll be her second one on the game already. Very good job by Kate Richards stopping the bleeding, getting some momentum the Knights' way. Cuts the lead down to 3, score being 6-3. All right, we'll have another face-off. And that'll be picked up by the Monarchs. That'll stay Monarchs ball. They swing it behind the goal. Pass it inside. Blocked by the goalkeeper, number 32, Jessica Webb. Great defensive play as they look to clear it. And they get balls on the ground, picked up by the Knights. And they clear it. They get it across. Very good opportunity for the Knights here. They swing it behind the goal. Passing it around, looking for the matchup they want. There's 33 seconds left on the shot clock. Very good defense by the Monarchs, keeping the Knights off their positions, off their good shooting lanes. Check on, puts the ball on the ground. Picked up by the Knights. Look to recover with 14 seconds left on the shot clock. And that'll be an unforced turnover, Methodist ball. Clearly a miscommunication there. The Monarchs look to clear. And they do. And that'll be a penalty on the Knights. And the Monarchs will look to go to work. Ball was put on the ground. Great defensive play, but picked up by the Monarchs. That'll be a penalty on the Knights. And that'll give the Monarchs an opportunity for a penalty shot. And that'll go in. Number 27, Skylar Rowe. I apologize. And that'll make the score 7-3. That was Kennedy Martin. My bad. Number 23, Kennedy Martin for the Monarchs. And that'll put the lead back up to 4. With 3 minutes and 12 seconds left to go in this first quarter. We'll see how the Knights respond with another face-off. And that's picked up by the Monarchs, and it'll be Monarch ball. A good check puts the ball on the ground. Continued possession for the Monarchs. Ball's on the ground. And the Monarchs pull it out, slow it down, recover from the face-off. Ball's on the ground again, and this time, continued possession for the Monarchs. Very good play, sticking with it. And the refs will meet, determine what just happened, what needs to be done. And we'll get the call. And here we go with Monarchs possession. Good defensive play by the Knights, and they will have possession. They look to clear. And they do. Very good defensive play. Oh, good check, puts the ball on the ground, and it'll be Monarchs ball. Ball is still on the ground, and that'll be picked up by the Knights. The Knights will slow it down, look to get something started. Hoping to take advantage of the good defensive play, forcing the turnover. Got a shot on the goal. Blocked by the goalkeeper and would be picked up by the Knights with 60 seconds left to go on the shot clock. Shot on the goal, little over, and that'll remain Knights possession. 46 seconds left to go on the shot clock. And that'll be a penalty on the Monarchs. And give the Knights an opportunity to penalty shot. And that'll go in. I believe that is number 18, Tyler John.
Goal scored by your Southern Virginia Knights, number 18, Tyler John.
Yep, so that gives Tyler John her second goal of the period. And cuts the lead down to 3 for the Knights. All right, and this last minute of the quarter will be very important in how the momentum swings. It'll be very important going into the second quarter. We'll see if the Knights can pull even further closer or if the Monarchs will pull further ahead. Got another face-off. And it'll be picked up by the Knights. Got 52 seconds left in the game as the Knights look to make something happen. Good check, puts the ball on the ground. The Knights maintain possession. Shot on the goal, little to the left. That'll remain Knights ball with 30 seconds left in the game, in the quarter. Shot on the goal. Blocked by the goalkeeper. They look to clear. I believe that is number 6, Jem Golombeski. And the ball will remain with the Knights with 5 seconds left to go. And that'll be the quarter. Quarter ends with the Monarchs up 3. Score is 7-4. And what we saw in that first quarter were the Knights making really good plays on defense, making sure that they never let the Monarchs get too comfortable, which did lead to a lot of penalties and a lot of issues there. But so far in that first period, they only allowed 11 shots on the goal. Now the Methodist the Methodist Monarchs have done very well on making their shots that they take. They're 7 out of 11, so very good shooting on their part. But for the Knights, you gotta like what your game plan is going forward. You outshot the opponent. You have a lot more opportunities. So it's just up to you to make sure that you keep giving yourself those opportunities, so that eventually you'll take advantage of them. Additionally, what has been very good for the Monarchs has been number 6, Jem Golombeski, with 5 saves as the goalie. So a very good job on the Monarchs goalkeeper's part for making sure that the Knights never get an easy shot on the goal. So we'll see how both teams respond. Both teams make some adjustments. You'll look for the Monarchs to be a little bit more aggressive on the offensive end, getting more shots on the goal. And you'll look for the Knights to do a little bit better on the defensive side, making sure that they're making sure that the Monarchs are getting more shots and not being as comfortable on that side. Additionally, the current leaders for the game, you have Michaela Ramos for the Monarchs with 3 goals. Peyton Jones and Kayla Nee each with 1. And for the Knights, you have Kate Richards and Tyler John, both with 2 goals. So those are your current leaders. And we'll look to get this second quarter started. All right, we'll have a face-off to begin the period. And we'll begin the second period. And the Knights will win the face-off. And that'll be Monarchs possession on the penalty by the Knights. Look to get something quick going. Ball's on the ground. Picked up by the Monarchs. As they swing it around behind the goal. And the ball will end up in the net of the goalkeeper, number 32, Jessica Webb. And it'll be Knights possession as they look to clear. And the clear is successful. Knights with the offense possession. Shot on the goal. Saved by the goalkeeper, number 6, Jem Golombeski. And it'll be Monarchs possession. So 2 quick offensive possessions for both teams so far. As the Monarchs look to save. Look to clear. And that'll be Knight ball after the great check that forced the ball out of bounds. Quick shot on the goal, and that is in. Number 2, Alyssa Johnson, puts the first point up on the board for the Knights in this second quarter. And that cuts the lead down to 2, score being 7-5. And that makes the Monarchs lead very much in reach for the Knights. So we'll see if they can continue this momentum going. As we talked about earlier in the first period, the make it and take it principles of the face-off in lacrosse can make it very lucrative. So that's definitely something that the Knights want to continue to do, is continue winning some face-offs, so that way they can get more possessions and continue their momentum. And here we go with another face-off. And that'll be a false start on the Monarchs, and that'll be Knights ball. The Knights look to get something going real quick. Pass it out. And that'll be a penalty on the Monarchs. And number 2, Alyssa Johnson, will have the opportunity of the penalty shot. And that'll be a quick shot, Alyssa Johnson. Her second goal of the last 2 minutes. And that makes the score 7-6. That'll be timeout Monarchs. Definitely good use of the timeout. Going into the second period being up 7-4, and then 2 minutes later being only up by 1, 7-6. You definitely need to call a timeout, get together something to get your team back on track. And now that leaves 3 Knights with 2 goals apiece: Kate Richards, Tyler John, and Alyssa Johnson. And you have 5 separate Monarchs who have scored, with number 15, Michaela Ramos, with 3. Peyton Jones, number 7, with 1. Number 12, Kayla Nee, with 1. Layla Weisenfield, number 21, with 1. And number 23, Kennedy Martin, with 1. So there's definitely been a greater spread of points for the Monarchs. They've been moving the ball, making sure that they get the best shot, no matter who's taking that shot. For the Knights, they've definitely been relying on their leaders to get their points. Alyssa Johnson with 2, number 4, Kate Richards with 2, and number 18, Tyler John with 2. So they're definitely relying on their specific players to get their goals, while the Monarchs are working together to get goals no matter who's shooting. So we'll see what strategy plays out, or if they change strategies with the Knights coming back from the deficit. We'll see what the Monarchs do here. All right, we'll get going here with another face-off. And that'll be Monarchs ball after the too aggressive check by the Knights. And the Monarchs will clear it. Pull it back. Very persistent defense by the Knights, but they get it across again. And that'll be Knights ball after the sloppy pass by the Monarchs. And the Knights will take their time clearing. And they'll clear. Another shot on the goal, and that ties the game. I believe that's number 2 again, Alyssa Johnson. That is her 3rd goal of the period, tying up the game 7-7. She is taking over this game, making sure that the Knights are in it. We'll have another face-off. And we'll see what the Methodist can do, what the Methodist Monarchs can do to try and take back that lead. Because right now the momentum is firmly in the SVU Knights' hands. And that'll be picked up by the Monarchs. Ball's put on the ground, picked up by the Knights. Very sloppy pass right there, not a Monarch in the area. We'll see what the Knights can do here. Quick shot on the goal, blocked by the goalkeeper, Jem Golombeski. And that'll be Monarch ball. Really good defensive play. The Knights had the ball right at the net. And the Monarchs will clear. Slowly walk it around the net. Looking to get something going. Good defense by the Knights. Ball gets out. Shot on the goal, and that is in, getting the first point for this period for the Monarchs. And I think that is another goal from Michaela Ramos, number 15. That is her 4th goal of the game so far. Very good play by the Monarchs, making sure that they stop the bleeding, get that lead back. And we'll have another face-off. And the Knights will take that one. And they get it across. They clear it. Swinging around the goal. Quick shot, and that is in. Number 22, Piper Searle. Her first goal of the game, and that ties the score back up at 8. And so far this quarter, in the first 5 minutes, the Knights offense has come out scorching. They have been performing very well. They've already matched their total from the first period. Both their defense and their offense has been doing very well. They've been forcing turnovers and been taking advantage of the opportunities given to them by their defense. They've held Methodist to only one shot so far this period. That one shot, of course, was the goal that put the Methodist Monarchs at 8. So the defense of the Knights doing very good, making sure that the Monarchs are not getting the opportunities they need as we have another face-off. And that'll be picked up by the Monarchs. And that'll be a penalty on the Knights. Very aggressive check right there. And that'll be an opportunity for the Monarchs for the penalty shot. And the penalty shot will be blocked by Jessica Webb. Great defensive play. The sloppy pass will keep the ball with the Monarchs. That'll be a quick turnover on the Monarchs. Knights are heading the other way. They get the ball clear. Great transition opportunity right here. That'll be a penalty on the Monarchs. I believe that'll give a penalty opportunity for the Knights. And that shot is blocked. Scooped up by the Knights, so it remains in their possession. Great play by Jem Golombensky for the Monarchs. And the Knights will look to take the lead here. Shot on the goal, too far to the left. And that'll remain Knights ball. Refs needed to reset the shot clock. And here we go with Knights ball. Shot on the goal, too far to the right. And that'll be Monarchs ball. Monarchs look to clear. And they get it across. Quick shot on the goal. Another save by Jessica Webb. And that'll be picked up by the Knights. And the Knights will clear it. Dangerous pass. Got on the ground, but it's picked up by the Knights, and they'll retain possession. They'll slow it down to get everyone across the field. And that'll be a shot on the goal. And that gives the Knights their first lead of the game. And that was another goal from Alyssa Johnson. I believe giving her her 4th of the period. She's been absolutely on fire coming out of the break. And it's very clear that ever since the beginning of the second period, the Knights have had the Monarchs on the fence. The Monarchs have been making a lot of dangerous passes, leading to a lot of turnovers, which have led to a lot of easy opportunities on the goal for the Knights. So definitely, if you're the Knights, you need to keep up this momentum, keep pushing it on the defensive end, keep forcing those turnovers. And if you're the Monarchs, you definitely just need to calm down, make sure you're getting your shots on the goal. So we have another face-off here. And that'll be a face-off win for the Monarchs. And that'll be the Knights' ball. Look to clear. Ball's on the ground. And that'll be Monarch ball. It was a great check to recover from the play. And that'll be a penalty on the Knights. Very aggressive check. And the Monarchs will look to get something going, tie the score up again. And the good check will put the ball on the ground, and it will be Knights ball. Monarchs defense, forcing them to put the ball on the ground, but the Knights retain possession. And they'll clear it. All right, and Alyssa Johnson has the ball. Shot on the goal, and that is the 5th goal for Alyssa Johnson so far in this period alone. That makes the score 10-8 in favor of the Knights. And that matches Alyssa Johnson's high so far for the season. She had 5 in their first win, in their first game of the season. So she's already matched her season high so far in goals in just this single period alone. So that gives the Knights a 2-point lead, and we'll have another face-off. And that faceoff will be won by the Knights. Shot on the goal, too far to the right. And that'll be a penalty on the Monarchs. which will give the Knights the free shot opportunity, free position shot. Great defensive play by the Monarchs. Puts the ball in Jem Golombeski's hands, and they'll look to clear. And they'll clear. Good opportunity for the Monarchs. And they'll swing it behind the goal. Great defensive play by the goalkeeper, Jessica Webb, and it'll be Knights ball. Monarchs defense refusing to let them clear. But the Knights will do so. The Knights swing it behind the goal. Nothing there. They'll pull it out, slow it down, look for the right matchup. Pass was mishandled, ball's on the ground. That'll be picked up by the Knights. So remains Knight possession with 30 seconds left on the shot clock. Very good defensive tenacity by the Monarchs. Shot on the goal, and that is another goal for the Knights. I believe that is another goal for number 18, Tyler John. And that'll be her third goal of the game. And so that gives the Knights an 11-8 lead, with 2.5 minutes left to go in this period. The difference between this period and the first has been very stark. The defense of the Knights has been very solid, forcing turnovers and never letting the Monarchs feel comfortable on offense, which has manifested itself in only 3 shot attempts for the Monarchs so far this period. And we'll have another face-off. And that face-off will be won by the Monarchs. They'll swing it around the goal. And that'll be a penalty on the Knights. Aggressive check accidentally hit the head of the Monarchs player. Aggressive defense by the Knights, not letting them get it out from behind the goal. Monarchs have 30 seconds left in the shot clock. They swing it outside. All right, and welcome back, everyone, to the second half of this SVU Women's Athletics game. So far in the first half, the Knights are up 11 to the Methodist Monarchs, who have 8 points, and we will begin the second half shortly. What we saw in that first half was a great defensive effort by the Knights in forcing turnovers and making sure that the Monarchs weren't comfortable in their offensive play, which forced the Monarchs into a lot of turnovers and a lot of sloppy passes. So we'll see how the Monarchs try and recover from that, try and make some adjustments on that. And the Knights will just look to continue to just be just as aggressive, force just as many turnovers, and then make their shots on the other side. We'll get started here. And an interesting thing to keep in mind is that every quarter the teams switch sides. So it's possible that the switching of sides was very helpful for the Knights in making more goals in that respect. So we'll see how they perform in this third period, if they just continue doing what they were doing in the second period, or if it's a lot more like the first, of a lot of missed shots, a lot of missed opportunities, a lot of turnovers. All right, here we go with the face-off to start the half. And the Monarchs will pick that one up. Monarchs swinging it behind the goal. Shot on the goal, a little to the left. Maintained by the Monarchs. Great defensive play by the Knights, but it'll stay Monarchs' ball. Broke up the pass. And the Monarchs will get to work with 37 seconds left on the shot clock. Shot on the goal, little to the left, and that'll remain Monarchs' ball. They have 21 seconds left on the shot clock. And that'll be a penalty on the Knights. The Monarchs will have the ball with 10 seconds left to go in the shot clock. Pass is broken up, ball on the ground. And that'll be a shot clock violation on the Monarchs with great defense from the Knights. And the Knights will look to clear. And they'll get it across. Knights looking to go to work. Shot on the goal, and that is in, extending the lead to 4. I believe that was number 4, Kate Richards, with her 3rd goal of the day. And that was exactly what you wanted to see if you were the Knights coming out of the break. Just a continuation of exactly what you were doing in the second period of the first half. Great defensive plays, forcing turnovers, forcing that shot clock violation, and then a quick, good goal from one of your leaders on the offensive end, in Kate Richards. So exactly the pattern that was followed in the second period. So we'll see if the Knights can maintain that, or if the Monarchs will make any adjustments to calm down their offense. All right, we'll have another face-off. And that'll be won by the Monarchs. Good check, put the ball on the ground, and it'll be picked up by the Knights. They'll look to clear. And they get it across. Quick shot on the goal, a little bit over. And that'll be Monarchs' ball. The Monarchs look to clear. And they do. And that'll be a penalty on the Knights. And that'll give the Monarchs the free position opportunity. They'll pass it out. They'll swing it behind the goal. Pass inside, shot on the goal, and that is in for the Monarchs. It's like number 23, Kennedy Martin. And so that'll put the Monarchs at 9 and cut the Knights' lead down to 3. So that was exactly what you needed if you were the Monarchs. You needed to get a goal on the board, stop the momentum for the Knights. They had been going pretty solidly. I think they had 8 straight points or something pretty close to that. A pretty large run for the Knights. So that is definitely a valuable goal for the Monarchs, stopping the run by the Knights. And we'll have another face-off here. Fight for the face-off still going on, picked up by the Monarchs. And that'll be a penalty on the Knights. And it'll be Monarchs' ball after the penalty. Ref's just making sure the shot clock is reset. And we'll get going here. Shot on the goal, saved by Jessica Webb. Great defensive play. And the Knights will look to clear. Pass back to Webb. Monarchs defense playing very well, not letting the clear happen. Dangerous pass, puts the ball on the ground, picked up by the Knights. And they will clear. Risky play, but it pans out. Good check, puts the ball on the ground. Picked up by the Knights. And the Knights will slow it down, look to get a shot that they want with 35 seconds left on the shot clock. We have a penalty on the Knights, and that'll make it Monarch ball. As the Monarchs look to clear. Both defenses being very aggressive on the clear attempts. Good check, puts the ball on the ground, and that'll be picked up by the Knights. Great first forced turnover there. And another check will put the ball on the ground, picked up by the Monarchs. Bad pass will be picked up by the Knights. Very back and forth right now. Another bad pass will be picked up by the Monarchs. And they clear it and get it to the ball to the other side of the field. Shot on the goal, blocked by the goalkeeper, and it'll be picked up by the Knights. They'll look to clear. Probably slow it down. A little bit of a sloppy possession by both teams right there. And the Knights will slow it down, look to get everyone on the field, slow it down, make sure that they're not turning the ball over, giving the Monarchs more opportunities than they need. Knights passing it around. Staying on the outside, looking for their shot. They still have 40 seconds left on the shot clock. Pass inside. Pass broken up. Picked up by the Monarchs. Still on the ground. Picked up by the Knights. And that resets the shot clock for the Knights. Shot on the goal. Blocked by Jem Golombeski. And that'll remain Knights ball. Knights looking to be very slow and methodical with their offense in the second half. Methodist defense very aggressive and force the ball on the ground, and they'll take the ball. So they look to clear it. And they do. Very good opportunity when their numbers are very similar right here. And it'll be a timeout. A Monarchs timeout, so it'll stop the clock at 7 minutes left in this period. And so what we're seeing is a lot more methodical play from the Knights, not as aggressive as they were in the second period, but still just as good defense, forcing the turnovers, not letting the Monarchs be comfortable in their offense, but just making sure that they're slowing down the offense, not turning the ball over, making sure they're being very methodical with their offense. And we'll see what adjustments each coach makes in this timeout. All right, and as we get out of this timeout, it'll be Monarchs ball. And we'll see what they do right out of this timeout to get themselves back on the board. cut that lead down to 2. And we'll see if the Monarchs can put together anything here. Sloppy pass ends up in the nets of the Knights, and they'll look to clear. And they do. Quick shot on the goal, little to the left. And that'll remain Knights ball. I'm sorry, there was a penalty on the Monarchs there, and that'll give the Knights the free position opportunity. And that quick shot on the goal goes in. I believe that's number 9, Addison England. And that'll be her first goal of the game. And that gives the Knights a 16-9 lead, the biggest lead of the game. Just been a flurry of points in the past couple minutes for the Knights. And just a quick correction from earlier, that earlier goal was scored by Piper Searle. That was her second goal of the game. Alyssa Johnson is at 6 goals for the game. And we'll have another face-off. And that face-off is picked up by the Knights. They quickly get it down the field. And then slow it down. Pass around, get the right look. Knights will look to go to work. Shot on the goal, hit the top crossbar and bounced out. Picked up by the Monarchs. As they'll look to clear, and they do. And that'll be a penalty on the Knights. Quick sloppy pass by the Monarchs. And that'll be Knights ball as it goes out of bounds. So what we've seen a lot in this period so far is a lot of unforced errors on the part of the Monarchs. Much less about the defense of the Knights and much more about the sloppiness of the offense. Stoppage in play. And it'll be Knights ball. And the Knights have 32 seconds to get something going. And that'll be the Monarchs ball. Just a 1v1 between the attacker and the goalie. Shot on the goal, blocked. Jessica Webb, great defensive play. Picked back up by the Monarchs. They have 8 seconds left. Sloppy pass put on the ground. Picked up by the Monarchs. Shot on the goal, and that is in. with no seconds left on the clock. A buzzer beater right there. We'll see if they count it. And they do. They count it. Great play by the Monarchs right there. Peyton Jones, number 7. So that means going into the fourth quarter will be Knights 16, Monarchs 10. It was a great play right to end the quarter. And that gives Peyton Jones her second goal of the game. And so what we saw a lot in that third period was a lot of unforced errors from the Monarchs. A lot of wide passes, a lot of mishandling of passes that gave the Knights a lot of opportunities. In the second period, there was a lot about the Knights defense forcing a lot of that, forcing them to be uncomfortable, but that just carried over into the third period of the Monarchs forcing those turnovers on themselves. So we'll see if they can calm down in the fourth period and try and make a comeback here, down by 6. Lacrosse is a long game, and goals can be added on in a flurry. So we'll see if the Monarchs can come back. And as for the Knights, we'll just see if they can keep that lead, keep the fire going, keep the aggression going. They've been successful when they've gotten into their offense really quick, gotten goals on the board really quick into their possessions. Slowing the ball down absolutely did take a lot of time off the clock. So we'll see what strategy they go with. Take a lot of time off the clock or keep going, put as many points on the board as possible. All right, and as we get this fourth quarter started here, still a lot of time for anything to happen. The Monarchs are certainly not out of it yet. All right, and we'll start with the face-off. And that'll be Knights ball. Off the penalty of the Monarchs. Sloppy pass put on the ground. Picked up by the Knights. And they'll slow it down, swing it around. Swing it behind the goal. Dangerous pass inside, picked up by the Knights. And a good check, put the ball on the ground. And it'll be Monarchs ball. They'll look to clear it, and they do. Monarchs swinging it behind the goal. SVU defense doing very well. Make sure they don't get the opportunity. Shot on the goal, little to the left, and that'll stay Monarchs ball with 37 seconds left on the shot clock. And that'll be a penalty on the Knights. Give the Monarchs the free possession opportunity. Pass was mishandled. The ball's on the ground. And that's picked up by the Knights. They get it to the goalkeeper, Jessica Webb, and they'll look to clear. And the Knights get it across. Very good defense by the Monarchs, warding off the attempt. And that was a great pass inside and a goal. I believe that's number 22, Piper Searle. And that'll be her third goal of the game, and that'll extend the lead to 7. Knights doing very good to maintain the lead and to increase it. Any ground that the Methodist Monarchs make, they quickly take back. And that was another example right there of when the Knights go quick to their offense, when they don't give the Monarchs a lot of time to get position on the defensive end, they tend to score. That has been the case for most of the evening, most of the game. We'll have another face-off here. And that'll be picked up by the Knights. Get it pass ahead, and they get it clear. Quick pass inside. The shot is no good. Saved by Jem Golemski. Dangerous pass ahead on the ground. Picked up by the Knights. So very good defensive play by the Monarchs goalkeeper. Quickly undone by a dangerous pass. Good check, puts the ball on the ground, but the Knights maintain possession, and they'll swing it behind the goal. And that'll be a timeout for the Knights. It's a good use of the timeout. Coach Whitworth will look to plan a play for the coming out of the timeout. And we'll see what adjustments the Monarchs make here as we're hitting the final stretch.
Timeout, Knights.
right, and we're ending this timeout soon. And the Knights will have possession, and we'll see what they do coming out of the timeout. All right, and it looks like the Monarchs are making a change at goalkeep, putting in number 29, Ashley Fuentes. So that's a very big adjustment right there. We'll see if it'll pay off. And the Knights will go to work. Shot on the goal, no good, and that'll remain Knights ball with 30 seconds left on the shot clock. Knights with a shot on the goal, and that is in. That is another goal for number 22, Piper Searle. And that extends the Knights' lead to 8 with the score of 18-10. And that is her second goal of the quarter, as well as being her 4th in the game so far. So far, the leaders for the Knights are Alyssa Johnson with 6 goals, and then Tyler John and Piper Searle each with 4. And for the Monarchs, you have Michaela Ramos with 4, and Peyton Jones and Kennedy Martin each with 2. So those are your leaders so far for the game. As we have another face-off. Ball still on the ground. Picked up by the Monarchs. That'll be a penalty on the Knights. Ball will stay with the Monarchs. The Monarchs swing it behind the goal. Pass inside, dangerous, picked up by the Knights. And they will get it across the field in no time at all. Pass inside, shot on the goal, and that is in. It's number 18, Tyler John, with her 5th goal of the game. And that extends the lead for the Knights. Makes the score 19-10. Knights slowly looking to close out the game, make sure that there is no opportunity for the Monarchs to come back. Nine minutes and 8 seconds left to go in the game. We'll have another face-off. And that'll be Monarchs ball. Monarchs looking to go to work. Defense standing tall for the Knights. Not letting it get anywhere near the goal. Pass inside, shot on the goal, a little to the left. Remains with the Monarchs. Dangerous pass inside. Stays with the Monarchs, and that'll be a penalty on the Knights. Very aggressive, going for the loose ball. And the Monarchs with 43 seconds left on the shot clock. Shot on the goal, and that is in. I believe that's number 23, Kennedy Martin. And that'll be her third goal of the game. That cuts the lead to 8. And we'll see if that sets off the Monarchs. Definitely it'll take time to come back into this game, so that's a start. And what we saw there that we haven't seen a lot in this game were quick inside passes. The Monarchs had been trying to do that for a while in the game, but a lot of them were missing their target. In the second period, a lot of that was due to the SVU defense knocking them off course. In the third, it was a lot of off-course passes. But that one right there, they got their play to go. They got the quick pass inside and the quick shot into the goal. So we'll see if they are able to successfully do that more throughout the rest of the period. We'll have another face-off. And that'll be a false start, ball to the Monarchs. And the refs are conferring. We'll see what the penalty is. And it'll be Monarchs ball. Quick pass inside, quick shot on the goal. Blocked by Jessica Webb. Monarchs retain possession. And that'll be a penalty on the Monarchs. It'll be Knights ball. Monarchs, the Knights will look to clear. They'll pass it back, slow it down, make sure to get the right clear, get the right opportunity, and they'll get it across. Pass across the field, swinging it behind the goal. And the Knights will pass it out. Knights with 35 seconds left on the shot clock. Monarchs defense really holding up, not letting them get anything easy. Swinging behind the goal with 17 seconds left. Ball's on the ground. That'll be picked up by the Monarchs. Great defensive possession right there for the Monarchs. And the Monarchs will look to clear. When we have 5 minutes and 35 seconds left in this game. Dangerous pass. And that'll go out of bounds. And that'll be the Knights' ball. And the Knights will look to clear. Dangerous pass. And that'll go out of bounds. That'll be Monarchs' ball. Monarchs looking to clear. Dangerous pass, mishandled. And that'll be Knights' ball. Knights looking to make something happen. Have their first 20-point game of the season. Quick shot on the goal. And that is in. I believe that is number 1, Riley Webster. And that'll be her first goal of the game, and that gives the Knights their first 20-point game of the season. Great offensive performance for them today. All they got to do is they got to close it out. And there'll be a timeout for the Monarchs with 4 minutes and 19 seconds left to go in the game. And as we're reaching the end of this timeout, you can imagine what Coach Whitworth on the Knight side is saying to her team. Keep it up. Keep up the great defense. Just finish out the game the way you've been playing the rest of the time. It's the Knights haven't found themselves in this opportunity very often, especially against the great team that is the Monarchs. So you definitely got to imagine they're just stay calm, keep doing what you're doing, make the good pass, don't turn over the ball, and then we'll walk away with a win in 4 minutes. And if you're the Monarchs coach, Coach Hart, you got to be thinking, okay, we gotta be going quick. No long possessions, no holding it behind the goal very often. We need to be getting those goals in and quick, winning the face-offs, making it and taking it if we're going to have an opportunity of getting back in this game. All right, and then coming out of the timeout, we'll have the face-off. A very key possession right here. And the Knights win that face-off. Knights keeping it slow, letting the clock run. Dangerous pass. And that'll stay in bounds, and that'll stay Knights' ball. great hustle on the play. Knights have 30 seconds left on the shot clock. They'll swing it around behind the goal. They have 9 seconds left on the shot clock. Ball's on the ground. And that'll be a shot clock violation. Great defense by the Monarchs. The Monarchs will look to clear. And they will. Mishandled pass, ball's on the ground. Picked up by the Monarchs. They got the pass inside. Great defense by the Knights, and an errant pass goes out of bounds. Knocked off the Knights, it'll stay Monarchs ball. Shot on the goal. Saved by Jessica Webb. And the Knights will look to clear. Long pass. Scooped up by the Knights, and that is a hard play right there. She pops right back up, and that'll be Knights ball. And the Knights clear. And they'll look to just run the clock down. Keep the ball safe, pass the ball around. Pass inside, shot on the goal, blocked. Ball's on the ground, picked up by the goalkeeper. And the Monarchs will look to clear. They've got 50 seconds left in the game. Good check, puts the ball on the ground, and the Knights will pick it up. And they'll look to just run out the rest of the clock. That'll be a penalty on the Monarchs. Give the Knights one last free position opportunity. They'll pull it out. Dangerous pass, turned over. Ball with the Monarchs. And that'll be the game. Your SVU Knights take the game 20-11. And it was just a very solid overall performance that we saw from the Knights. The defense was very suffocating in that second period, which allowed them to get 7 points in that period, while only allowing 1. And overall, in the last 3 quarters, they only allowed 4 points overall. So a very strong defensive showing by the Knights and a strong offensive showing in result of that. You had several players with more than 3 goals. You had 4 players with 3 or more goals. Those players being Alyssa Johnson with 6, Tyler John with 5, Piper Searle with 4, and Kate Richards with 3. So a very strong offensive showing from several Knights players, and just an overall great game offensively for the Knights. As for the Monarchs, they'll drop to 5-2, and that'll end their win streak. But they'll recover. They've been playing very well this season, but they struggled to get the offense going. Besides the first period, a lot of turnovers forced that. Overall, there were 34 turnovers from the Monarchs. So it's very difficult to win when you have that many turnovers being caused. So yeah, the Knights will progress to 2-3 on the season, end their losing streak, and hopefully begin a winning one. This is Mark Duffin. Thank you so much for joining us in our presentation of Knights sports, and we'll see you later. Go Knights!